The story begins with a student named Yuji Itadori. He spends time with his friends, playing a game to summon spirits. Despite being an ordinary high school student, Yuji is incredibly powerful, especially in terms of physical strength and speed. After school, he visits his grandfather in the hospital and brings him flowers. His grandfather tells him not to bring flowers every single day. He then says that he wants to share his final words. Yuji responds that he doesn't want to hear them. His grandfather tells him, "You are strong, so help others. Make sure that when you die, there are people around you who are grieving for you." Right after saying this, his grandfather passes away. Yuji struggles to hold back his tears. Soon after, a boy named Megumi Fushiguro arrives. He is a student from Tokyo Jujutsu High. Megumi asks Yuji if he has seen a cursed object. Yuji replies that it was with him, but he gave it to his seniors. Megumi explains that it is a special grade cursed object. Because of its presence, other curses can be drawn toward it. This means Yuji's friends are now in serious danger. Meanwhile, Yuji's friends remove the seal from the cursed object. As a result, many curses gather around them. Megumi tells Yuji to stay outside because there are likely many curses inside the building. As soon as Megumi enters, he encounters a curse. He uses his 10 Shadows technique to summon 2 Shikigami. In reality, Megumi has the ability to summon up to 10 different Shikigami using this technique. Inside, Yuji's 2 friends are being held in a strange and horrifying way by the curses, and they are about to be eaten. Outside, Yuji remembers his grandfather's final words about helping others. Without hesitation, Yuji breaks through a window, jumps inside, and delivers a powerful punch to a curse, saving his friends. Afterward, Megumi eliminates the remaining curses. Yuji is about to hand the cursed object over to Megumi when suddenly another curse appears from above and attacks Megumi. Yuji rushes to help him, but the curse grabs Yuji and is about to devour him. At that critical moment, Yuji swallows the cursed object, which looks like a finger. As Megumi had warned, it is actually the finger of Ryomen Sukuna. Consuming it could have resulted in Yuji's death. However, instead of dying, an immense surge of cursed energy flows into Yuji's body, and Sukuna awakens within him. With a single slash, Sukuna slices the curse into pieces. But this creates a new problem. Sukuna has now taken control of Yuji's body. He begins, and shouts, "Where are the women? Where are the children?" Unexpectedly, Yuji manages to regain partial control over his body. Sukuna is confused, as Yuji seems capable of suppressing him. It appears that Yuji already possessed unusual physical strength and a natural resistance to cursed energy. Megumi then states that according to the rules of Jujutsu High, Yuji must be executed. Otherwise, Sukuna could eventually bring destruction to the entire world. Suddenly, Satoru Gojo appears and asks where the cursed object is. Yuji replies that he has already swallowed it. Hearing this, Gojo is shocked and asks Yuji if he can bring Sukuna back out for 10 seconds. Yuji says that he might be able to leave. While Gojo starts talking to Megumi, Sukuna suddenly takes control and launches an attack on Gojo. However, Gojo effortlessly dodges the attack and begins fighting Sukuna. With incredible ease and confidence, he overpowers him in style. After a short fight, Yuji regains control over his body. Gojo then asks Megumi what should be done with Yuji. Megumi says that according to the rules of Jujutsu High, Yuji should be executed. However, he also says that he wants to save this boy and asks Gojo to help him. Gojo then takes Yuji to another place and tells him that he is going to be executed. Yuji responds that Gojo told Megumi something different. Gojo explains that, for now, he has postponed Yuji's execution. He then explains that the object Yuji swallowed was one of Ryomen Sukuna's fingers. In total, Sukuna has 20 fingers. Yuji jokingly asks if that means 10 fingers from each hand. Gojo clarifies that Sukuna originally had 4 arms, which is why there are 20 fingers. Gojo further explains that these fingers cannot be destroyed. Their power continues to grow stronger over time. However, Yuji has the rare ability to consume them and act as Sukuna's vessel. Gojo presents Yuji with 2 choices. Either he can be executed immediately, or he can consume all 20 of Sukuna's fingers. Once all the fingers are gathered inside him, they will execute Yuji, which will permanently eliminate Sukuna as well. Yuji remembers his grandfather's final words. He then asks Gojo, if all of Sukuna's parts are destroyed, will curses disappear from this world as well? Gojo replies that it would greatly reduce the threat of curses. Yuji then makes his decision. He says that he will eat all of Sukuna's fingers. After that, whatever happens, happens. He adds confidently, I already know how I want to die. After that, Satoru Gojo takes Yuji to Tokyo, to the school for Jujutsu sorcerers, Tokyo Jujutsu High. On the way, Gojo explains that Yuji must behave properly there. Otherwise, the school's principal might decide to execute him. At that moment, Sukuna speaks through Yuji's body and says to Gojo, "Why can't you become their leader? Leadership should be decided by strength. You defeated me once, but once I fully revive, the first person I will kill is you." Gojo smiles confidently and says that the King of Curses wanting to fight him is actually an honor. He then explains that about 1,000 years ago, Ryomen Sukuna was once a human sorcerer. However, he was so powerful that people began to worship him like a god. In reality, he became known as the King of Curses. Even after his death, the sorcerers were unable to completely destroy his remains. That is why he still exists today in the form of his cursed fingers. Yuji then asks Gojo, "If you and Sukuna were to fight at full power, who would win?" Gojo replies that fighting Sukuna with all 20 fingers would be difficult. Yuji asks, "So you would lose?" Gojo answers confidently, "No, I would win." After that, Gojo completes Yuji's admission to Tokyo Jujutsu High and gives him a room to stay in. Gojo gathers his 3 students, including the new student, Nobara Kugisaki. He tells them that they are going to Tokyo. Hearing this, Nobara and Yuji Itadori become very excited. However, instead of sightseeing, Gojo brings them to fight a curse. This is actually a test for them. When they realize this, Yuji and Nobara become annoyed. Gojo gives Yuji a weapon before sending him inside, but Megumi Fushiguro does not enter the building. In reality, Gojo wants to test Nobara's abilities. After entering, a curse suddenly attacks Yuji. However, Yuji quickly dodges the attack and easily defeats the curse. When Nobara goes inside, she sees that another curse has taken a child hostage. Just as the situation becomes tense, Yuji appears from behind and cuts off the curse's arm, saving the child. The curse tries to escape, but Nobara uses her cursed technique to attack it and successfully exorcises it. After this, Kiyotaka Ijichi explains to Yuji what special grade really means. He says that first there are grade 4 curses, which can be easily defeated. Then come grade 3 curses, which can even be defeated using a handgun. After that are grade 2 curses, which cannot be defeated even with a shotgun. Then there are grade 1 curses, which are so powerful that defeating them would be difficult even with a tank. Finally, there are special grade curses, which can only be defeated by a special grade sorcerer, someone like Satoru Gojo. However, instead of sending Gojo, the school sends the 3 first-year students on the mission. At the scene, they find an injured man. Yuji wants to help him, but Megumi Fushiguro refuses. He explains that the man had previously hit a girl with his car, twice. Megumi questions Yuji, asking whether he would allow someone like that to continue harming others. Yuji then asks Megumi, "If that's the case, why did you save me?" Suddenly, Nobara Kugisaki is captured and taken away by a curse. At the same time, Megumi's divine dogs are destroyed. Then, a special grade curse appears, one that has consumed one of Ryomen Sukuna's fingers. Yuji attacks the curse, but it easily overpowers him and cuts off his hand. Desperate, Yuji asks Sukuna to help him, but Sukuna refuses. Meanwhile, Nobara is surrounded by numerous curses. She manages to defeat some of them, but there are simply too many. The special grade curse brutally beats Yuji, leaving him in terrible condition. He even begins to cry in fear. However, gathering his courage, Yuji decides to continue fighting. At one point, a curse is about to devour Nobara, but Megumi arrives just in time and saves her. He then gives Yuji a signal. Understanding the situation, Yuji allows Sukuna to take control of his body. Sukuna completely overwhelms the special grade curse. He then uses his domain expansion, called Malevolent Shrine, and instantly slices the curse into countless pieces. Afterward, Sukuna tells Yuji to take back control of his body. However, Yuji does not immediately return. Sukuna then gives a creepy smile. Sukuna walks straight toward Megumi Fushiguro, intending to kill him. In a shocking moment, Sukuna tears open Yuji's clothes and rips out his own heart from Yuji's body. He then even consumes another one of his fingers. Seeing all of this, Megumi is completely stunned. However, he gathers his courage and summons a Shikigami. Sukuna begins fighting Megumi in a calm and stylish manner. The battle becomes intense and highly interesting. Sukuna even mocks him, telling him to attack properly using cursed energy. Megumi summons another Shikigami named Orochi, which resembles a giant serpent. Both Shikigami attack Sukuna together. However, Sukuna easily destroys Orochi and then delivers a powerful kick to Megumi. As Sukuna is about to kill him, Megumi attempts to summon his strongest Shikigami, one that is incredibly powerful. However, before he can complete the summoning, it fails. At that moment, Megumi speaks to Yuji and says, "I saved you because I want to help good people, and you are a good person." After saying this, Yuji regains control of his body. Megumi feels relieved hearing those words. However, since Yuji's heart had been removed earlier, he suddenly collapses. Later, Satoru Gojo is shown speaking. He explains that this was actually a scheme by the higher-ups to send the first-year students on a dangerous mission so that Yuji would be killed. Gojo becomes angry and declares that he will not forgive those responsible. The episode ends with Megumi and Nobara Kugisaki looking emotional and shaken by everything that has happened. We see Yuji's lifeless body, but inside him, his consciousness is still alive. Before dying completely, Yuji's soul enters Ryomen Sukuna's innate domain. Inside that domain, Yuji and Sukuna fight. However, Sukuna easily defeats Yuji. After defeating him, Sukuna proposes a deal. In this deal, Sukuna will restore Yuji's heart and bring him back to life. In exchange, Sukuna wants the ability to take control of Yuji's body for 1 minute whenever he says a specific keyword. Additionally, after agreeing to the deal, Yuji will forget the conditions of their agreement. Since Yuji is about to die anyway, he decides to accept the deal. However, before finalizing it, Yuji makes one condition of his own. He tells Sukuna that whenever Sukuna takes control of his body, he must not kill or harm any innocent person. Sukuna agrees to this condition, and the two form a binding vow, a supernatural contract that even Sukuna cannot break. After this, Yuji returns to life. His heart is restored, and all of his injuries are healed. When Shoko Ieri sees him alive, she is shocked. Later, Satoru Gojo tells Shoko to keep Yuji's revival a secret. He specifically instructs her not to inform the higher-ups about it. Afterward, Gojo is seen traveling in a car. He senses that someone is following him. He tells the driver to stop the car and leave. Gojo fights Jogo, who is a special grade curse and can even talk. Jogo attacks Gojo aggressively, but because of Gojo's infinity, he cannot even touch him. Jogo is actually a very powerful curse, but he is facing Gojo. Still, you have to appreciate Jogo's courage and confidence. At one point, Jogo thinks he has defeated Gojo, but in reality, he never even touched him. Gojo then uses his cursed technique, specifically Red, which creates a massive blast. He beats Jogo very badly. In the middle of the fight, Gojo even brings Yuji there to show him something. Jogo uses his domain expansion called Coffin of the Iron Mountain, but even then, Gojo does not take any damage. Inside Jogo's own domain, Gojo activates his own domain expansion, Unlimited Void. As a result, an overwhelming amount of information floods Jogo's mind all at once, which paralyzes him and pushes him toward death. However, Gojo tears off Jogo's head, and because of that, Jogo survives. The effect of the domain does not impact Yuji because he was in contact with Gojo. Later, another curse named Hanami comes and saves Jogo. We then see that these curses are working as a team, and among them is a human-like figure named Geto. Then we see a muscular guy named Todo. He asks Megumi what kind of girls he likes, and says that he personally likes girls with big boobs and long legs. Megumi replies that he is not into that kind of thing. He just wants a girl with a kind heart. Hearing this answer makes Todo angry, and he starts beating Megumi. In the middle of the fight, Panda, Inumaki-senpai, and Maki arrive and stop them. There is going to be an exchange event between the two teams. Before that, Todo goes to shake hands with his favorite idol. This guy is a bit strange. Some school students bully a boy named Junpei Yoshino. Later, those same students go to watch a movie with him, but they continue making noise and disturbing everyone. At that moment, Mahito appears and transforms them into curses. Mahito has the ability to touch a person and change the shape and size of their soul, which allows him to turn humans into curses. Junpei witnesses this and becomes frightened, but instead of running away, he asks Mahito if he can teach him how to do it. Meanwhile, Satoru Gojo sends Yuji Itadori and Kento Nanami to investigate the incident. There, they encounter two curses. Nanami uses his cursed tool and strikes their weak points with his technique, while Yuji channels cursed energy into his punches, causing a double impact in a single hit, and together they defeat the curses. Later, Shoko Ieri reveals that those curses were originally humans, the same people Mahito had transformed, which makes Yuji deeply upset. Mahito tells Junpei that he is experimenting to see how small or large he can make a human by reshaping their soul, and he says that if you hate someone, you can even take their life, promising that he can teach Junpei everything. After that, Nanami and Mahito fight, during which Mahito attempts to turn Nanami into a curse and uses transfigured humans, who still have emotions and can feel everything, as weapons. Mahito proves how truly evil he is. Nanami gathers a large amount of cursed energy and focuses it into his fist, and with his ratio technique, he can identify the weak points of any target, whether living or non-living, by visualizing a line that divides the body into parts. During the fight, he successfully cuts off Mahito's leg. Later, Yuji and Junpei form a genuine friendship, and Yuji even has dinner at Junpei's house. However, that night a curse kills Junpei's mother. The cursed energy came from one of Sukuna's fingers, which had been placed there. Mahito tells Junpei that someone who hated him must have planted it, but in reality, it was part of Mahito and Suguru Geto's plan. Junpei then begins attacking and killing the people he hates. Yuji arrives and fights Junpei. During the fight, Junpei attacks Yuji, but Yuji does not dodge. Junpei asks why he is not defending himself, and Yuji replies that he wants to know what happened, and that he will help him. Junpei explains that a curse killed his mother, and that it happened because of the cursed object someone had placed there. Yuji tells him to come to Jujutsu High, where his friends and teachers can help, and promises that together they will punish the person responsible. At that moment, Mahito suddenly appears and transforms Junpei into a curse. Yuji begs Sukuna to heal Junpei and says he will do anything in return, but Sukuna refuses and enjoys Yuji's suffering. Mahito and Sukuna both laugh, and Mahito hopes that Sukuna will eventually leave Yuji's body and join their side. Shortly after, Junpei dies. Yuji becomes furious and punches Mahito, leading to an intense battle between them. Mahito injures Yuji and touches Sukuna's soul, entering Sukuna's inner domain, where Sukuna warns him to leave or be destroyed. Yuji continues attacking Mahito, and Nanami arrives to join the fight. Nanami and Yuji Itadori continue beating Mahito, and after taking heavy damage, Mahito uses his domain expansion called Self-Embodiment of Perfection. Inside the domain, Nanami is trapped, while Yuji is initially outside. Since Yuji is the vessel of Sukuna, the situation becomes dangerous. We are then shown Nanami's backstory. He used to work in a company and wanted to earn a lot of money, but he felt exhausted and empty. One day, he visited a bakery where the girl at the counter told him he looked very tired, and he replied that she looked tired too. In reality, a curse was sitting on her shoulder, invisible to her. Nanami killed the curse and relieved her suffering, which made him realize that helping people gave his life meaning. Returning to the present, once someone is trapped inside a domain, the guaranteed hit effect makes death almost certain. Nanami is about to die, but Yuji breaks the domain from the outside since it is weaker externally. During this, Mahito accidentally touches Sukuna's soul and is pulled into Sukuna's inner domain, where Sukuna attacks him. Terrified, Mahito escapes. Meanwhile, Suguru Geto plans to feed Yuji all of Sukuna's fingers in order to fully revive Sukuna. After this, the Kyoto Goodwill exchange event begins between Tokyo and Kyoto Jujutsu High. The Tokyo team is led by Satoru Gojo, and the Kyoto team is led by Utahime. Gojo surprises everyone by revealing that Yuji is alive, but surprisingly, most students do not react strongly. An elder from the Kyoto side secretly orders the students to kill Yuji because he is Sukuna's vessel, ignoring the purpose of the event. The rules are simple. The team that exercises the most curses wins. Previously, Yuta Okotsu had defeated all the curses alone and secured victory. Among the Tokyo team members are Toge Inumaki, who uses cursed speech to control opponents with commands like stop or die. Panda, who is strong in hand-to-hand combat, and Maki Zenin, who comes from the Zenin clan, and, despite having no significant cursed energy, is physically powerful and highly skilled with weapons. During the event, Aoi Todo attacks Yuji aggressively and even smashes his head, then suddenly asks him what type of girls he likes. Yuji replies that he likes tall girls with big breasts. Hearing this, Todo becomes extremely happy because they share the same taste. Todo suddenly imagines a dramatic fantasy where Yuji is his best friend and they attend school together, while Todo remains obsessed with his idol Takada-chan. When the other Kyoto students try to attack Yuji together, Todo tells them to leave because he wants to fight Yuji alone. Later, Panda fights against Mekamaru, whose real name is Kokichi Muta. Panda was created by Principal Masamichi Yaga, who can place cursed energy into dolls and bring them to life, and he raised Panda like his own child. During the fight, Mekamaru attacks Nobara with his ultimate cannon, but Panda takes the attack instead. We then see Panda's different form, his gorilla mode, which greatly increases his strength. A fierce battle follows, and Mekamaru tries to destroy Panda's core, but it fails because Panda has more than one core. Eventually, Panda defeats Mekamaru, and it is revealed that inside Mekamaru is a physically weak human whose real body is extremely fragile. We see that near Toge Inumaki and the others, a first-grade curse named Hanami appears. A man creates a barrier that only prevents Satoru Gojo from entering. Everyone else can go inside. Meanwhile, Utahime and the old man encounter someone who tells the old man that he does not want to fight him, and asks where Gojo is, insulting him and telling him to step aside. Then we see Hanami fighting Megumi Fushiguro, Inumaki, and Noritoshi. Hanami destroys Megumi Shikigami in one attack, and Inumaki's curse speech has little effect on him. Hanami also punches Noritoshi. Megumi tries to summon his strongest Shikigami several times, but cannot for some reason. Inumaki stands in front of Hanami and uses curse speech, causing a powerful blast that pushes Hanami back, but blood comes out of Inumaki's mouth from the strain, and Hanami remains mostly unharmed. Then Maki Zenin arrives, and she and Megumi use weapons to cut Hanami's eyes. However, Hanami restrains both of them. At that moment, Aoi Todo makes his entrance and teaches Yuji Itadori how to use Black Flash. Yuji lands a powerful Black Flash, and Todo uses his technique to switch places by clapping his hands, allowing him to hit Hanami. Together, Yuji and Todo beat Hanami and weaken him. Todo also uses a cursed tool during the fight. Hanami absorbs energy from the surrounding trees and prepares to launch a powerful attack, possibly using a domain, but Gojo arrives in the sky. First, he defeats the man who was fighting the old man, and Hanami escapes. Gojo uses blue and red, positive and negative energy, which combine to create purple, destroying the forest and the entire area. At the same time, we see Mahito stealing Sukuna's finger and some cursed womb paintings. This was Suguru Geto's plan. Hanami would distract Gojo while Mahito stole Sukuna's fingers. Geto also mentions that Sukuna is interested in Megumi. Later, the trio goes to a school where some boys greet them. Nobara and Yuji think they are being greeted, but the boys are actually greeting Megumi. It turns out this was Megumi's old school. An old man explains that when Megumi was in school, a girl named Sumiki Fushiguro used to take care of him. Nobara and Yuji misunderstand at first, but she is revealed to be Megumi's older stepsister. We learn that Sumiki is in danger. Megumi sends Nobara and Yuji away and goes alone to search for his sister, but they return to him. Megumi explains that Sumiki has been unconscious and that the power of Yasuhachi Bridge has possessed her. The three of them go under the bridge, where they encounter a curse. Yuji fights it, and Megumi kills it using a sword. However, another curse kidnaps Nobara, and the three of them become separated. A powerful curse appears before Megumi, similar to the one previously killed by Sukuna, but even stronger. Megumi remembers Gojo telling him not to sacrifice himself just to save others, and that when he dies, he will die alone, so he should be greedy and use his full power. Sukuna had also told Yuji that he has great strength but does not use it properly. Now it is time for Megumi to use his power. Megumi activates his domain expansion, Chimera Shadow Garden, and gives a creepy smile. With the help of his divine dogs, he defeats the curse. We are shown that Sumiki is Megumi's stepsister. Megumi's father left with Sumiki's mother, leaving Megumi and Sumiki alone. Gojo raised Megumi and prevented him from being sold to the Zenin clan by his father. Gojo also supports and looks after students like Yuji, Megumi, and Yuta. Sumiki has been unconscious for a long time, almost like she has been in a coma. We are also told about a woman who could give birth to cursed spirit children, and a man named Kenjaku made her pregnant 9 times, resulting in 9 cursed womb children. It is a confusing story, and I do not want to give spoilers.